Tell me that your husband doesn't love you anymore without actually telling me your husband doesn't love you anymore. I'll go first. So last night, my husband and I were laying in bed, and I asked him, I said, do you think that when we die, we're going to still be married in heaven? Like, do you think there's marriages in heaven? And do you think that we're going to be married when we die and go to heaven? And he said, I don't know. So...
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll see a bit of everything. Several single mothers with their usual demands. The confession of a man who went through a divorce right at retirement age. And the main course, a woman delivering one of the best messages in defense of men, exposing more than one issue along the way. If you enjoy this content, leave a like and subscribe. We're on our way to 150,000 subscribers. And with your support, we're going to crush that goal. Share your experience or opinion on these cases in the comments. And without further introduction, let's get started.
And what does me having 7 kids have to do with anything?
Oh dear.
I didn't ask nobody to take care of my kids. I asked for y'all to, when y'all come in my DM, to be ready to provide a little something for me.
Satire, right? This has got to be satire.
I said was I needed my nails done and I need a new oil change. Y'all can't do that.
Please tell me this is satire, because if it's not... Oh my goodness, are they in for a rude awakening?
Men are supposed to be providers, right? And women are supposed to be the nurturers. Why y'all don't want to provide?
Now, I'm just guessing here, but it might have something to do with someone's rather proven poor track record at good decision-making skills, which would make any man, I think, hesitant to commit to any kind of providing.
My 7 kids are good, though. Let's go ahead and get that straight. My 7 kids are good.
Well, that's very good news, and I'm very happy to hear that.
I get like $2,100 in food stamps, and my kids get Medicaid insurance.
Fantastic.
And 4 of them have daddies. So let's not.
4. Okay. And I'm going with my original thought here. I really hope that this is a joke.
I said me. That's it. That's all.
Even if this is satire, the sad part is there's still a lot of women out there with this type of mentality that still view themselves as the prize to be won, even after it's been given to a lot of guys.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I really hope this is satire, because if it's not, we're witnessing the total collapse of common sense. 7 kids, only 4 with a father, and yet this woman still believes that any man who talks to her should show up with cash in hand, like it's some kind of tax for saying hello. And the worst part isn't just the number of kids, it's the attitude, like she's the prize. Woman, you've hit the wall, with a sky-high body count, living off food stamps and Medicaid. And thinking the next guy is going to pay for your oil change and your nails? This is exactly what happens when self-esteem gets more inflated than reality. But don't go anywhere, because in the next video, we're going to look at this from a father's perspective.
What's going down, TikTok Nation? It is 12:56 here in Fort Worth, Texas, and today is a good day, y'all. Today represents a new life for me, a new freedom, a new start. Right now. It's been a struggle. You know, I was a fireman for 22 years and retired, divorced, and the last 5 years have been, it's been a struggle. The last few have been really hard, and lost a lot of so-called friends and family. It's all good. But today is a good day, y'all. Today represents me taking my life back and being able to make decisions and do things that I want to do when I want to do them, and represents me being able to spend my money that I'm making when and where I want to and who I want to do it with. Having no power over me any longer. That's it. You know, this is to all you divorced dads out there that have always given everything you had, every dime, all the time you could give. You showed your kids you loved them. I'm not saying you were perfect. None of us are. We all have our demons and our struggles. But you still gave everything you had to your kids, and you still do, no matter what. Even when you had nothing to give. I'm not talking about you dads that didn't want anything to do with your kids in the first place and didn't give everything you had and didn't want to spend time with them and complained and griped about, having to do it afterwards. But this is for all you dads out there that have struggled and still are struggling right now. I got much love for you now. It matters. Don't worry about what people say. I lost a lot of friends, so-called friends, and family members and all of that, but it's all good. And I'm sure you have too. But what you do and what you have done matters. And I got much love for all of you. So to all you divorced dads out there that have and always have given everything, I got much love for you. New freedom, y'all. Time for Mark's Garage 5 to go grow, help change people's lives, change young athletes and kids' lives, and just try to be better every single day. I'm thankful to be here, y'all. It's a good day. Mark's Garage 5 Nation is growing and rolling. Love y'all. Peace.
We always see videos of women talking about their rebirth after a divorce, but we rarely hear the voice of the man left with nothing. 43% of divorces happen between the ages of 45 and 53. Right when a man is one step away from retirement, when he can finally spend more time at home, and that's exactly when he gets thrown out. That's no coincidence. It's when he's no longer producing the same, when the household income drops, when he finally wants to enjoy what he built. And what does he get in return? Divorce, total loss, and a society that still blames him. This man said it clearly. He lost his home, his kids, friends, family, but even so, he got back up. That's why I always respect the man who rebuilds himself after divorce. Because he doesn't just lose material things, he loses his identity. So yes, brother, take care of your body, your mind, and your finances. Because when the storm hits, and believe me, it can, you'd better be standing strong.
This is just my opinion, but divorced men and baby dads or single dads are a little scary. Why? Because what you do. Because that woman is going to fight for her family. You already got 365 million fucking chances. We already know that. Especially if we have kids, we know that. And it might be a double standard because I have kids. I just feel like it's different dating a man with kids because why are you single together? I know there had to be something pretty big for her to be like, all right, yeah, get the fuck out. And it comes down to things too. Like I've been in relationships where you're like, okay, leave. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. And all they do is they just strategize all the ways to make it normal so you stay. So like she already went through all that time of like staying even after she was checked out. So what did you do?
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
I think this is the same question a lot of men ask themselves when dating a single mother. You already had a provider, a home, a man who let you keep the kids, and you still left him? It's fine if the guy failed you, if he cheated. I get it. But not all men cheat. And with a divorce rate where 80% are initiated by women, and only about 25% are due to emotional disconnection, which often just means I got bored, it's pretty hypocritical to now dismiss men with kids when you're bringing baggage yourself. You had your family, you broke it, and now you expect another man, one with no kids, no past, no mistakes, to step in and help raise another man's seed. while you look down on single fathers like they're intimidating. And you're not? You deserve a second chance, but they don't? That's God-level hypocrisy. Let's keep going.
If you are a single mom, then what did you do wrong? That's my first question. The craziest thing about this whole post is this whole idea that I know women made it work. I know women did everything they could. Last time I checked, 28% of women quit therapy when they're held accountable, or they quit therapy when the therapist doesn't side with them and takes their husband's side. But y'all never want to talk about that. And y'all never want to talk about how you berate your husbands, how you come online and talk shit about your husbands for external validation. Y'all don't want to talk about how you emasculated him for years and belittled him for little things, how you only decided to focus on the one thing he did wrong instead of the 1,000 things that he's doing right. Then you mentioned in this video that you were checked out of a relationship, or women check out of a relationship, and you think that that's socially acceptable to just check out of your relationship rather than sitting down your partner and saying that you have problems with X, Y, and Z. Maybe he didn't hear you in the passive aggressive behavior. Maybe he didn't hear you in the eye rolling or the yelling or the nagging, or that was the first thing out of your mouth when he walked in after a long day. When was the last time that you had a meetup, a sit down with your partner or your significant other and went over like just basic necessities of what you both need in a relationship without turning it back on him? When a man talks to you about the finances within the family because you want to go to Target and Starbucks all the time, you think it's controlling, even though he's trying to save the family from financial ruin. When he brings up his feelings, you want to turn it around and bring up something that happened 3 weeks ago to deflect it back onto yourself without ever addressing or trying to understand a man's experience. And let's not forget the amount of times he tried to be open with you and vulnerable with you and share his feelings with you, and all you did was emasculate him or make him feel small to a point where he stopped talking to you. But is that reflective of women trying to make it work? Because you hear this time and time again all over social media. I see it in my comments every single day. I have men reaching out to me, telling me their stories, how their women literally make them feel so small, make them feel like nothing, that they're invisible to the world because their wives don't appreciate them, they aren't loyal, they're on their phones, Snapchat and, guys in their DMs are more important and give them more validation than what they're doing on the day-to-day.
Damn, what a powerful message from this woman. She spit fire and raw truth without a filter. There's nothing to add. This was a sermon straight from the male soul, but spoken by a woman. And that makes it 1,000 times more powerful. Because she's not guessing. She's saying exactly what we men think, but no one dares to say out loud. Brothers, let this woman keep preaching, because she's saying what many stay silent about and what way too many need to hear.
And y'all don't ever want to acknowledge that the only reason that relationships even last as long as they do is because men are able to adapt to the ever-changing goalposts that women set. So every time you ask for something and he reaches for it and he makes that goal, you change it. And then he meets that goal and then you change it. And then he meets the next goal and you change it, and so on and so on. And the only reason that the relationship even lasts as long as it does is because he shows that he adapts to your needs and your wants while you stay the same and blame him for all of the problems within the relationship. Because you're not the one changing. You're not the one going to therapy. You're not the one trying to make it work. You're not the one trying to do dates and bring back romance. Your idea of romance is getting him a pair of socks on Christmas and saying happy birthday through text message. Men are consistently filling a woman's cup in the relationship while she's literally breadcrumbing him the entire time, just giving him just enough of affection to make him think that it's something. You don't think there's men out here that haven't been touched or held or loved or even thanked in years, months, all the time, and they're still in the relationship? Is that not symbolic or representative of men that are trying to make it work? And let's not forget the men that are still in relationships because they don't want to lose time with their family, with their children. They know the minute that they get divorced, guess what? Their parenting goes down to 30% because the ex-wife is going to be bitter regardless, because she can't understand how a man could be happy without her, because her covert narcissism is me mentality, and nobody can, if I can't make him happy, then nobody else will. But y'all never want to talk about that. Y'all also never want to talk about the way that you treat your husbands like a child in one point, and you want to treat him like a man in another point, and your emotions are so high and low, and that he's at the mercy of your hormones every 2 seconds. And every time that you lash out at him, every time you're mean to him, every time you can't sit down and have a normal discussion, you want to blame it on your hormones and gaslight that man into thinking that it's his own fault, that he actually ends up apologizing for some shit that he didn't even do. But y'all never want to talk about that either. There are just so many things that women do in relationships. They pretend like they're these healed beings, that they're so emotionally intelligent. And just because you have emotions doesn't mean you have emotional intelligence. In fact, most of y'all won't even take the time to understand your boyfriends, your husbands, or your significant others, because actually understanding your husband would actually break your heart, to understand how lonely and depressed and, invalidated he feels on the day-to-day. And y'all don't even want to acknowledge that you're part of the problem. And let's just add to it. Now you got kids involved. Now you got baby daddies involved. And you can't understand why men don't want to take on children that aren't their own. But on top of that, want to take on all of your baggage, while simultaneously understanding that, damn, your baby daddy must have really had a hard time with you if he also didn't want to stay. Okay, bye.
Damn, what a message. This was too good. Raw, real, and straight to the jugular. I'm not going to generalize, but most fit perfectly into what this woman described. Men who break their backs trying to keep a relationship afloat, constantly adapting to ever-changing whims, while she doesn't change a thing, and still blames him for everything. Men who stay in miserable marriages just to be close to their kids, forgiving everything, swallowing it all, just to avoid being alone. Women who emotionally and financially destroy these men, and when they finally manage to get back on their feet and rebuild their lives, they come after them, dragging them through court, using the kids, all out of pure vengeance disguised as justice. This woman deserves a round of applause, because she said what thousands of men are living through in silence. And when a woman says it, it hits harder, because now they can't cover it up with excuses.
Women.
We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. What do you think about this man's story? How he lost his friendships during the divorce? What other things did this woman leave out that we as men go through in marriage or divorce? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.